I want to get into more of the specifics of Rennes-le-Château here too, because I know you had mentioned the other place. But did you have a particular goal in your pursuit of the visit to Rennes-le-Château in France?
Yeah, this was the fifth time I had been to Rennes-le-Château, which of course is kind of the ground zero for the parallel Christian mysteries, what are referred to as the secrets, or referred to by Henry Lincoln as the center of the religion of Jesus and Mary Magdalene, as opposed to the descriptive religion about them. It's thought that they may have lived there, that they deposited certain sacred texts or secrets. And my mission in going to Rennes-le-Château this time was to seek additional evidence for a lost gospel that the Cathars referred to as the Book of Love, which was believed to be a collection of symbols that were delivered to Jesus by Jesus to John the Divine, and contain the original primitive Christian revelation, as it's called, which is really a group of scientific symbols that were derived from ancient Egypt, from Iran, from Iraq, from India, and all came together in a collection of symbols. And the ultimate aim of this Gospel of Love, or Book of Love, was to transfigure or transform ordinary individuals into immortal beings of light.
All right, well then I'll ask you about your pursuit of that, and also a particular story that's in the news today about the implications of Rennes-le-Château. Perhaps you heard about it, maybe you didn't. Next on Coast to Coast AM, this is Ian Punnett. William Henry, investigative mythologist. Did you happen to catch the story? It was I think carried by the BBC. I saw it on a link. I can't remember what news site it was. But it was about the latest research in a new book that's coming up about the Last Supper.
I saw that image on the Coast site the other morning, and just kind of fleetingly looked at it. It looks like the guy had done some clever manipulation, some mirror work on it, or symmetry work on it. I thought it was kind of interesting. I'm not, sure that it's, anything that I'm going to follow up on, but I thought it was intriguing anyway.
Well, it was linked on the coasttocoastam.com site for about 24 hours, but it was the kind of thing that maybe if it had come out when the DVD for the Da Vinci Code or the book or the movie or something else had been out, it would have gotten a lot more play. But it was intriguing, this person doing this work, as you mentioned, doing mirror imaging of and looking at, I guess, like X-rays of the canvas or something like that for the Last Supper. And it's so what appears to be an image of Mary Magdalene that doesn't appear to the naked eye, but is there, of her holding a baby. And I don't know what to make of it, except that you said you were investigating that alternative perception of that at Rennes-le-Château, and I thought that's an interesting tie-in this week.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I revisited a prison in Dôme, France, which is nearby Rennes-le-Château, where Templar nobles or initiates were imprisoned after the arrest of their Grand Master Jacques de Molay in 1307, and this prison is covered with some of the most amazing graffiti you've ever seen. I mean, these guys reviewed themselves as the last Templars. They believed they were it. And so they actually used their rotten teeth that had rotted out of their mouth, to etch their secret teachings on the walls of this prison for perpetuity. One of the key images there is of a pregnant Mary Magdalene at the crucifixion holding a magic wand or rod in her hand. And so that is definitely a key belief of those who uphold this parallel tradition that Jesus and Mary Magdalene were married, that there was a secret teaching that has been suppressed, and that by recovering that secret teaching, presumably we'll be able to recover ultimate secrets about ourselves.
Well, and I like that idea that that wand piece that you refer to in one of your DVDs at great length, and you show pictures of, I assume something like that's also on your website, because that is something that, I mean, it does seem very Egyptian. It seems sort of classical, but in the first couple of centuries of Christian iconography, Jesus is seen performing particular miracles holding a wand.
Right.
and I guess it never really occurred to me. It looked like a staff or a stick, but I didn't really think of it as a wand. But certainly the way it's portrayed, the magic appears to be happening at the end of the stick.
Absolutely. And in one particular image that's actually in the Vatican Museum, Jesus is kind of conking Lazarus in the cave right on his crown chakra, right on the third eye, as if to say, hey, wake up, wake up. And in that same depiction, you can almost view him as like a symphony conductor. I mean, some people take the Holy Grail to be a tune or a vibration, including me. And so if you think of the Grail as a song grail, then he is a conductor of this life force energy, this key of life, as the ancient Egyptians called it. And what he's doing is using this rod or wand as a conductive force, a baton, if you will, to awaken Lazarus, rather, just like the ancient Egyptian god of divine magic Thoth raised Osiris using a similar ankh or key of life. It's really incredible to think that maybe they were drawing upon not just an ancient Egyptian belief system, but also a profound spiritual technology that has been lost. And it's really funny, isn't it, Ian, the way Harry Potter has suddenly come on so strong on our planet in the past 10 years, and his key icon or image is that magic wand.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, I don't know that the idea of the magic wand or Harry Potter has ever really left our popular psyche. I think it's part of, I mean, because just as you said, whether it's Harry Potter or whether it's a magician with a top hat and a rabbit, I mean, wands are always sort of there. I mean, hardly a kid ever in the history of kiddom grew up without picking up a stick off the ground and pretending it was a magic wand.
Right.
Long before the popularity of Harry Potter. What intrigued me about the work you did was that you were drawing these direct comparisons to this ancient Egyptian imagery of a wand, and almost sort of like line for line in some of these early Christian portrayals and in these hieroglyphic images, you can see somebody using that same stick in the exact same way that Jesus is shown to be using it, which speaks to, it seems to me, the mystery cults.
Right.
And that these mystery cults that had sort of appropriated the Jesus story into their pre-existing cult, just simply transferred a lot of the image or the visual imagery of the Egyptian gods and goddesses to this new, Christian paradigm.
Well, they didn't know what to do. There was a prohibition against depicting the way, which is what Christ was thought of. You couldn't show, that's idolatry to show a person. And so, admittedly, for several centuries, there was, was he clean-shaven? Did he have short hair? Did he have long hair? Did he have a beard? All of these kinds of things. Did he have a magic wand? I kind of take the opposite view, though, Ian. I think that what happened is that you're not dealing with cults, mystery cults. You're dealing with mystery schools.
Sure.
There's a big difference.
Sure. No, I would go along with schools. Okay. Cults is just what they're called typically. But, yeah, the mystery schools.
And
okay.
they're drawing upon this ancient imagery and this ancient knowledge. And what happened is it appears is that when the Jesus story is being written, they edit. They selectively edit some of perhaps the original revelation out. And that's kind of what my research is beginning to focus on is, okay, if they were this incredible mystery school who had access to the Library of Alexandria and the working temples of Egypt, of Iran and Iraq and of India, what was it that they were looking for? And what I've been learning is that what they were looking for was the secret of what is referred to in the Bible as metamorphosis, transfiguration. They seem to know that this human body is sort of in a pupal form, and that our ultimate existence is going to be in more of a butterfly-type form, where we're ascended beings of light free to travel the galaxy. And they left books of symbols that will enable us to more deeply absorb that teaching within our being so that we can, in fact, become these transfigured or metamorphosed beings.
When I use the term cult, of course, I just mean it in this sort of non-pejorative form as a subset, a subgroup, not the common. And
like
these
Heaven's Gate cult or something, right? Yeah.
Well, but Heaven's Gate cult has that negative image. I mean,
absolutely.